Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right, people, brace yourselves for a
Uh-oh.
or a jaw-dropping discussion. People magazine reported that oral sex is a leading factor in throat cancer, a throat cancer
Yikes.
epidemic. Dr. Hisham Mahana says people with 6 or more lifetime oral sex partners are 8.5 times more likely to develop throat cancer. The cancer is caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV, which can be transmitted through oral sex. And she says it is leading to a huge surge in throat cancer cases, especially among middle-aged men. All right, guys, before you dive in, my question is, does this mean everyone should just be quitting on the foreplay? And keep in mind, we are trying to keep this a family podcast, so I'm going to ask you to please be careful what comes out of your mouth. Okay. We'll start with Gianni.
Are we about to experience an oral lesson on what not to do? Okay, so this honestly though, this just makes me want to be celibate in every way, shape, or form. I just feel like there's
Wow.
Yeah, that's you guys don't
No
think
oral
this is
sex for
crazy?
you? But no oral sex for
No,
you?
dude.
What?
No, this is gross. I don't want cancer of the throat. I I read a little bit into it. It said that throat cancer used to be something more because of like smoking and tobacco and stuff. But HPV has become like the leading thing that has caused the throat cancer.
Mhm.
And the fact that it's linked to oral sex sounds almost like sinful. Like that sounds so evil, but
But I mean, now it did say that it was
It's
mostly
the number
men.
of partners with HPV that you come into contact with. So the
right.
more partners you have, come on, let's be honest. Let's not just let's keep going, please.
You can't be like promiscuous.
But the thing
you
is,
got-
it's mostly men catching it. So it didn't clarify whether or not this was gay men,
What?
but it's men. It's men are more likely to get the throat cancer. I think it's like 2.8% times more likely or something like that. But with that being said,
Oh my
that
God.
means that men should
Men,
be
be
less
careful
likely
out
going
there.
down on women. It sounds like to me. I'm just curious how you feel about that.
That sounds untrue. No.
But are you okay with it?
It says to be.
If they start giving guidance out that says, men to avoid this throat cancer, men need to stop going down on women. How do you feel about that?
Oh,
That-
come on.
that's-
Then I
see,
feel
that's-
like it's white men in power flexing their freaking power. If
Yeah.
that comes through as legislation, that's bull.
Why are you
You're-
trying to restrict
white-
the family? No, I don't like that. I think that honestly, it said that the number of partners. So as long as you have like a girlfriend, a wife, you shoot, have at her. Like I don't know, like you don't need to like go to multiple people. That's where the problem comes in. So this is actually a test of like not monogamy. Is it monogamy? Like
Monogamy,
being
mhm.
faithful.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
All
That's
right,
what
Robbie,
this
go
is.
ahead. Yeah, let me let you get in, Robbie.
like, shut up, man. Like, please don't ruin a good thing.
What?
Yeah,
I've always
It was
thought
an
of-
interesting article. I felt it was an
Oh,
interesting article to
absolutely.
bring to light.
Absolutely. I've always thought of myself as a cunning linguist, and I wanted to approach this in a tongue-in-cheek manner, but I decided to tread lightly because, like oral sex, one slip of the tongue and I could find myself in some real shit. So I'm so glad that the intro landed well. I was
That's good.
afraid that I might choke under pressure.
Oh my gosh.
You're welcome.
Consistent.
But
That was good.
You're a cunning linguist, huh?
That was good.
But I'm glad that we've covered some of the actual facts because oral sex does carry some degree of risk for STIs. It's a sexual activity. The risk of
Yeah.
transmission varies depending on several factors, like we were talking about the number of sexual partners, the use of protection, such as condoms or dental dams, the presence of any existing STIs, because, like Neo said, HPV can be transmitted through oral sex, and it is the leading source of throat cancer, which is scary. But vaccination against HPV and practicing safe sex can reduce the risk of transmission. It's like anything else. If you're engaging in sexuality and sexual behavior, be safe. So ultimately, whether oral sex is safe depends on the individuals involved and the precautions they take to protect themselves. I know that this can be a lot to swallow, but if we come together safely, we can end this.
Nice.
It's a lot to swallow.
No, that was good. It was filled with puns. That was really good.
All right.
You're welcome.
All right. So I think it's the
So much
same with
poetic.
limiting your sexual activity, your risk anyway, with any sexually transmitted disease. You know, it's the value of limiting the number of relationships that you have. So, you know, and keep those relationships. Stop going down on the first date. You know, the heck. Just make that a special thing for the special person you're with. You know what I'm saying?
Good one. Nino.
When you
that was a
when you
good-
have an idea that you
good
want this
advice.
relationship to go somewhere, then
Yeah. Then you
Do-
start
trust
getting
do your
into it.
thing.
You ain't gotta go on everybody. You know.
But on date one, what are you doing?
It's
do you
sad. This is sad.
You know, the report did, of course, say that it was more likely that men were getting this, but it didn't specify whether or not it was from oral sex from men, or it didn't specify.
Dude,
Maybe
it
it's
doesn't
new,
matter. It's
so-
the it's the
That's the thing.
HPV.
That's the thing.
It's the
It doesn't
HPV.
even matter. You know.
Whether you got it from one or the other, it's still HPV.
Yeah.
HPV, they said, is very common, but I think there's like the HPV like STI. I guess you can get it in your throat apparently, and in your genital area.
and in your pause.
Like, what is that? How do I describe that? No,
I know.
but
You mentioned dental dams, Rob, but I was reading that dental dams aren't very effective against HPV. I mean, it's more effective than nothing, obviously.
right.
Exactly. I mean, it's something. It's something rather than nothing. And we're just talking about, and I'm just throwing out precautions that they are providing, that they're guiding the public to use.
Yeah.
Celibate. But if you have a partner, you guys have people. I'm talking about for the single folk. If you're single, this is probably for single people because I don't see anybody in a relationship.
Dude,
Oh.
this is for young people. This is a cautionary tale
Yeah,
for young
because
people. Like Neo said,
after 26,
don't go
you can't even
down
get the
on the
vaccine.
first date. Because and I'm sorry, once you reach a certain point in your life, you've had X amount of sexual partners. There's no going back on it.
You already have HPV.
Now this is exactly. So this is just a cautionary tale for people who are
Wow.
starting to experiment. Limit your sexual activity. Yeah, sure, it's great, it's fun, it feels amazing.
Not
yes,
that fun.
you're going to get better at it, but be safe while you're figuring it out.
Most of the population already has HPV, actually.
Point.
Most of the
Yep.
adult population.
That's the most.
Yeah.
It's the most common STI.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Right.
gross.
One thing I did want to say was that they did say that CDC did say that they couldn't tell if it was the throat cancer was a combination of risk factors. So it
Right.
could be,
I read that.
HPV along with smoking.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind, smoking and vaping. So, all right, we got some comments online. Let's
A lot of
go
people
back.
still vape.
Michael Wolf says Michael Douglas said that was how he got throat cancer, oral sex, going down.
What?
Latoya Blake says this is straight up shenanigans. Fuck People magazine. This is amazing.
Oh, it's from People magazine? Okay. Wait a minute.
She said I haven't had that many partners anyway, so I'm all good. If they stop going
Lucky.
down, I stop. It's just that damn simple. But she's out. She said exactly, Gianni. I'm so good on all of that. I'd rather be celibate than popping up with, at my age, almost 40, with some crazy stuff. Yeah,
Yep.
Now, see,
that's fair.
you feel a hot mess.
Jacqueline
Yeah.
Robinson made a good point. She said there was an epidemic of HPV throat infections among high school students a few years ago. The students wanted to remain virgins and figured they could engage in this particular activity without harm.
Ew.
Oh, they try to find all kinds of loopholes, don't they?
Loophole.
Okay.
Good job, Robbie. I like it. Those are all-
This
that's
is
nice.
straight up.
We're going to end it on that one. This is True
That's what this
Lies
is.
Shenanigans. I'll go with shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
We still doing
It's when
some.
people
You
make
know what? No. This has to be lies. Dirty, dirty lies. We have to stop the spread of these lies.
The lies.
Good one.
Yeah. No, I'm still gonna do what we're gonna do.